Yeah, sorry about that. It was a fatal error. Regrettably, I lost everyone, and hopefully you will all come back. So, anyways, I believe we were talking about our love of reading, or my love of reading. I know I'm talking to an empty chat right now. That's okay. We'll go on for another 20 minutes or so just to round up. I like going for 2 hours for Marston Mondays and Free Room Fridays. And I know you'll be watching this in the future. I appreciate that. John's going back to Rathskeller Fork. We already saw this footage, but we're going to see it again. Don't know what we were doing with the Rose Gray Arabian. Probably got him for another video. For another video, as one says. Odog, thanks for coming back, friend. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was a fatal crash. It was, you know, the same as it happened with on Tombstone as well. Super annoying. I'm sure we wouldn't have this problem on a PC. Let me tell you that. But that's okay. It's just all for me. It's just all part of the live experience, and the anything can happen. That Wyatt seemed a little worrisome. Were you paying attention to him? Seemed young, and he um, seemed like he was bragging a lot or creating a character that he wanted everyone to believe. Leroy, sorry, folks, while the stream was down, decided to brush my teeth. I love the feeling of fresh brushed teeth. I wish I'd done that too, but I was too busy getting the stream up again. Yeah, I thought he might get a little trolly, but I think I handled him appropriately. I was suspicious, but suspicions don't mean anything. And I knew if anything egregious happened, you'd have taken care of him. Yeah, I'm glad you did. Good instincts, friend. We think alike. But that's just part of the experience. At any rate, yeah, GTA 6 is the big news, and I should make a reaction video. And I might, I don't know. I mean, it would be good for the channel. It would generate views. It would get more people here, so I might, I don't know. If I had more good things to say about it, I would. Most definitely, but it's not a game for me. Are you gonna play it? Are you gonna buy it? It's definitely gonna be at least 80 bucks. If not 100. The way things keep inflating. 5 viewers, thanks for coming back, friends. I really appreciate it. We'll go for another 30 minutes or so and fill out the stream. Oh, dog. Many don't get that. Well, you are a man of vast and wide experience. Oh, dog. Yeah, I'm gonna try. Well, you got to get your use out of that PS5, and it looks like it's gonna look great on a PS5, and on HD. Little Debbie's Little Diabetes. That made me laugh. That was funny. Leroy, I honestly wish I was alive in the 1800s. I mean, then again, it would be so hot with no AC, and to aid your hotness, but it just felt so authentic and simple. I also love the house designs. Yeah, but life is hard. Life was so much harder back then. I mean, it's amazing to think about how many labor saving devices we have now. Um, I was watching someone with a leaf blower and thinking that this gentleman has an outdoor job and and works in physical labor, but he's still just blowing leaves around. Whereas, in the past, he would have had to rake that. It would have taken, twice as long with very little, with much more effort. But it would have been more peaceful and calming, quiet. And I would appreciate it. Leroy, that's what has me second guessing. Yeah, and then look at all the clothes you have to wear. We talked about this at when we were watching Tombstone, where you're wearing, you've got your union suit on underneath. You're wearing wool, maybe if you're lucky, cotton or a wool blend. I don't think they had wool blends back then. Um, Suits, three-piece suits and you have your shirt buttoned all the way up with a collar. You know, it's like you were ridiculously hot in the past. And also you're working from dawn to dusk. So if you were born into that time period, yes. But time traveling back, we are seriously weak. I don't think we'd last. Also, who knows what kind of microbes and bugs would take us down. Food standards and hygiene in 1899 is not great. I was watching Spartacus, one of my favorite series from Stars. I love it. I love it. Well, I love the Roman Empire. And one of the one of the punishments when Spartacus was in gladiator school, um, for him and his best friend was they basically had to stand in at the bottom of the outhouse, and with buckets of human waste being poured on them all day long, and they just had to tolerate it. Leroy, it baffles me how thug kids get paid more for doing a busy job mowing an elder's lawn while I'm struggling to get money while putting my blood, sweat, and tears to give a dog a cute mark. Leroy just had that thought. Well, I think you could charge more. Dog owners are willing to pay more because they see their dogs as their children and they spoil them. I've said often and loudly that dog toys are at least 3 times as more expensive than human toys. Like, for example, dog tennis balls, which are basically just tennis balls with dog paws on them, are $9.99 for 3 on Amazon, where you can get human tennis balls for $3.99. So of course I went with the human version. And then I made a short leash for Sadie, but because the short leashes, which are 2 feet long, were like $9.99, and I found a 6 foot leash, the exact same width that I wanted, for $4.99, same hardware and everything. So there's maybe you should expand and think about offering some kind of dog product. like just buying a bunch of tennis balls and stamping a dog paw on them and selling them for $4.99 a piece. Leroy, it's a public establishment. Sadly, I can't change the prices to my content. Yeah, I hear you, friend. But maybe you could set up a side hustle on eBay and then just hand them your card. Or you can start a YouTube channel. Everybody loves dogs. Dog channels do really well. Oh, dog, have you been watching Serena's latest videos? She's commenting more on them, which I appreciate. And I'm certain that will work out well for her in the long run. I used to love getting this sombrero, even though I don't appreciate the look. I like John in his big valley hat, but that sombrero was very popular for a while. Oh, dog, not watching lately. She's doing a Red Dead 1 playthrough. Leroy, love dog channels, but I don't know a lot about editing, and the equipment is expensive. Yes, it is, unfortunately. Also, people are a bit questionable on this platform. Yeah, I mean, it's just like the internet. You get the highs and the lows. But there's room for everyone. And you just have to be a conscientious consumer, I guess. I watched so many dog training videos when I first got Sadie, just to help me figure it out. You know, it was funny. I was feeling she has a bone ridge right here in the center, like a Klingon, and so I was playing with that while she was sleeping on my lap last night while we were watching TV, and and so I looked it up on the phone. It's called the sagittal crest, and that's where the jaw muscles connect, and only dogs that have like super strong jaws, like pit bull breeds, have the sagittal crest, and also that's what she uses to headbutt me, which was really funny. Which was funny to think about because one time she ran into my knee, and it felt like I had run into a door, and she was fine. She just like moved on. She was like bonk, and then what's next? Didn't feel it at all. It was really funny. Or I was amused. The rose gray is a good size for John, and technically it's the best horse in the game, but just don't care for that coat. Don't really. Leroy, I will never watch majority of dog trainers here. It's way too easy to become a, quote, professional dog trainer, and most of their courses are fake and lousy. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I just consumed so many dog videos because I needed answers. And I can't think of a single one that, it's like I just kind of watched all of them and just pick and chose, tried to find things that worked for me and worked for Sadie. I remember some good advice I got. It's like one lady said that a dog should think that the crate is the only place where they can't get into trouble to make it a safe spot for them. And I was like, that's sad. I don't want Sadie to ever think she's in trouble. And she doesn't, I don't think, I hope. The crate is just for her another fun place, fun, safe place to go to sleep. But I think she feels safe everywhere in the house. I would hope so. Leroy, I named my Rose Gray Arabian Red something for no particular reason. Can't see it.
Really should be.
Can't see it. Hold on. I forgot to open the second chat window. Red rum for no particular reason. Oh, well, I know what you were thinking of. Nice Stephen King reference. That was a great scene in both The Shining and the book. Leroy, my dogs know they only go in the crate if I'm busy. Guests are over. I'm leaving for sleep, never for punishment. Yeah, it's like sometimes if guests come over and Sadie's too excited, I'll make her go in the crate. But I hardly ever close the door. Sometimes she'll close the door, and that's funny. Leroy, you got me, superantonio. I'm glad you caught it. Red Room, yeah, of course. It's a great scene in both the movie and the book. Yeah, she closes the door sometimes, and I'm like, how did you do that? She kind of noses it closed. Of course, you can't lock it. And then I will put her in the crate after a walk so I can wipe down her paws. But really, I give her free access to the house. She doesn't rush the door. She gets a little excited when we have guests, but it's not really an issue. I'm very pleased. I don't feel I trained her. I think she trained herself. But she is very well-mannered, if I do say so myself. Leroy, I make, let's see, no, we read that. Leroy, I make my dogs go in the crate because they are a bit reactive to guests. Also, that's adorable. My dogs know how to open doors too. Sometimes they choose not to. Yeah, I suppose Sadie can be reactive. But here, let me queue up another video for you. And back to Blackwater we go. Well, actually, back to Armadillo we go. Or Tumbleweed. Brett Tucker, greetings, friend. Who do you think is the better protagonist, Arthur or John? I would have to go with Arthur all the way. This is Arthur's channel. John, from a plot perspective, because of Red Dead 1. But I love Arthur. Also, I do believe I like westerns and heroes who are single, who don't have to worry about a relationship. And, in this case, Abigail and Jack. I mean, it's important to be a well-rounded man, but as a heroic figure, you need to be single. It's traditional. You don't want any vulnerabilities. You don't want to give your enemies a weakness. And back to Blackwater we go. Thanks for being here, Brett. Stream crashed, so I appreciate you showing up for the second half. Sorry about that. So we have a Christmas video coming up. A very Arthur Morgan Christmas in Red Dead Redemption 2. That's what I worked on today. And then we shall be back on Fridays with Free Roam Fridays are now live at 8 p.m. PST. We'll go for about 2 hours. Marston Mondays, of course, are live now. And then on Saturday, we shall have a movie night where we will be watching Big Trouble in Little China starring Kurt Russell. Going along with the Kurt Russell theme, we watched Tombstone last Saturday. Then there will be a Sunday stream, either in Guarma or New Austin, unsure. But the Sunday stream is always just like about an hour long to catch up. Brett Tucker, who do you think is the best video game protagonist of all time? Pound for pound, maybe Lara Croft or somebody from Resident Evil, Jill Valentine or Carlos or Claire. But really, we'll have to see. But Arthur or Geralt from The Witcher 3, I would vote for Arthur personally. Leroy, I love Blackwater's stable. The horses are just mwah, chef's kiss. I just wish they had more breeds and coats available for the mounts. Well, unfortunately, epilogue or post game is just a funnel and a portal for Red Dead Online. That's how Rockstar saw it, I'm sure. They just assumed that everyone who bought the game would just fall in love with Red Dead Online and want to play, and that they would recreate GTA, the cash cow of GTA Online.
Perfect.
Don't think it really worked that well. And here we have a Mary Beth model of NPC for the Bath Lady.
Whenever you're done, just say the word.
Brett Tucker, my favorite horse is the reverse dapple black thoroughbred. What is yours? The Piebald Tobiano Hungarian halfbred, of course. Biscuit, the silver dapple Pinto Missouri Foxtrotter. Those two immediately come to mind. I do like the reverse dapple, but I prefer the brindle thoroughbred. Rachel, John's seal brown thoroughbred. Buell, beautiful coat. Beautiful coat. The Perlino, of course. I did like the lighter colored horses before I found Biscuit. Leroy, when I saw John, I immediately thought he was Dutch. Don't ask why. Yeah, I like this Bath Lady just because she reminds me of Mary Beth. Though at this point Mary Beth is 10 years older.
You seem so tense, darling. You should really relax.
All right, that should do it.
If I see you again.
Leroy, I will forever stand by the fact that she is Mary Beth's long lost twin. Yeah, maybe. Or a little sister. But, you know, it's just like Westworld. They have models and files and they just cut and paste and, you know, fool with the algorithm. Pac-Man, Pinto Foxtrotter, one of the best good old Tatanka. And Odog says, peace sign, good times. Yeah, I appreciate you being here, friend. Brett Tucker, what is your favorite mission in Red Dead Redemption 2? Mine is probably the last one on Arthur. You know, funny, Brett, I got that question earlier, and I kept saying that I have favorite missions from every chapter, but I couldn't pick a complete favorite mission that stands out as one of the best of all times. You know, it's like I was talking yesterday about how much I love breaking Mike out of jail just because I love that gunfight. It's very challenging, a lot of fun. But you know, I could say the same with Lenny at Shady Bell. I have favorite missions in every chapter, I would think. It would make a good video, actually, talking about that. Great idea, Brett. Thank you. At any rate, friends, that is all I have for you tonight. I appreciate you coming back for the second part of the stream. Really sorry that we crashed. No idea why that happened. That happens sometimes. Shout out to the mods. Odog, thank you so much for being here. And I'll have some random videos through the week. If you like action figures, I put up an action figure video short. It's called The Girls Are Ready for the Holidays in Red Dead Redemption 2. It's not really, I didn't add that. I just add that to every video title. We will return on Fridays for a Free Roam Fridays live stream. On Mondays, we Marston, and I really appreciate all of you being here. Thank you, friends, and see